These are simple things that you can do for your chicken if they're not laying. They're healthy, but they have failed to lay for you the eggs that you want from them. Even if the weather condition is not good enough for them, but what I'm going to share with you will help you make this chicken lay, even in cold weather or in any bad condition of weather. So let's dive into the video. My chicken have laid for 10 months so far, but their production is still good. I'm not saying that their production does not go down, but I noticed that their production is going to decrease after seeing these signs. These are signs that where you can see that your egg production is going to decrease. First, if you're raising, for example, 200 chicken and you've been collecting 3 or 5 trays of eggs from this chicken in the morning, then the rest of the day you collect the remaining eggs, and you find yourself that right now you're collecting 3 trays in the morning and you're collecting the rest of the eggs in the other time, on the middle of the day or in the evening. It is a sign that their production is going to go down, because healthy chicken, they lay eggs in the morning unless when you deny them feeds, or you feed them in the time that they are not used to eat. You're used to feeding them in the very early in the morning, but you delayed like 2 hours, then they will delay the laying time. But if you've been doing each and everything the right way and they are decreasing the time they lay the eggs, it is a clear sign that their egg production is going to decrease. Another thing, when the size of the eggs decreases. In the morning, we expect the chicken to lay bigger eggs. So they keep on changing the size of the eggs up to when you collect the last eggs in the evening. If you start to collect small or medium-sized eggs in the morning, it's a clear sign that the egg production is going to decrease. So that is when I take action. So it is good to always monitor the behavior of your chicken. That is always, I say that you should be around your farm. You should monitor your chicken so that you understand what they need. From there, I start to see to check on them, these chicken complete their feeds they eat in a day in time, or they did not. These chicken drink their drinking water in time as usual, or they didn't. So it helps you to understand that if they decreased on the consumption of their feeds, maybe they are developing some weakness or sickness. If they didn't drink the drinking water in time and the day was very hot, it means that they are developing some weakness or they are becoming sick and they need some medication. Or if they've just consumed their feeds the right way, it means that they need some boosters that they can boost their immunity to make sure that they can lay the eggs in time and always balance the time of laying. So that is the way you can understand that the egg production is going to go down like that. So this is the solution to the problem. If you've really discovered that they need medication due to low consumption of feeds or the drinking water, they have lowered down the consumption of their drinking water and feeds, it means that you have to buy some medication from the vet and treat them. In that, old vaccinate, Newcastle, and deworm. Sometimes if you're raising free range chicken or using a duplicator system like me, this chicken eat on the floor, and the worms can be always removed every month from the chicken. So it is very easy to deworm. You can deworm using the herbs. Actually, sometimes for me, I deworm using the herbs most of the time, but you can also use the medication from the vet. But once it means that you have to take action, you deworm, and so that they maintain their egg production. If it is not true and they need boosters, then you bring the greens. You introduce the greens to this chicken. Ladies and gentlemen, vegetables are good for the chicken. When it comes to feeding chicken vegetables, they help to boost the immunity of the chicken. They help the chicken to lay fully their eggs almost a month without treating them if you're consistent with using these herbs. Medication of herbs needs you to be consistent. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, raising chicken is not all about bringing chicks, put them in a chicken house, giving them feeds and drinking water, and you sit and wait for the eggs. No, it means that you have to take each and every step they want. You're like taking care of a baby, a newborn baby. And every day, from the day you raised them up to the day you're going to sell them. There are a lot of greens, all herbs that you can give them to boost their immunity. First, you can use kitchen ingredients like onions, garlic. You can aloe vera and mix them in their drinking water. Or you can bring the actual greens from the bushes. I mostly use sunflower. I use yam leaves. I introduce them to pumpkin leaves. I use a variety of greens. And some of them, I don't know their English name, but I always give them the greens that are edible by human beings, or the greens, the bitter leaves that you can drink via the drinking water. Sometimes I mix the greens in their drinking water if I want to treat. If I want them to eat the fresh greens, I'll just give them the fresh greens. And if you're to feed them this chicken, if you're to feed them greens, make sure that you bring a variety of greens. Don't bring 3 leaves of yam leaves and you expect that you think that you've given this chicken leaves or greens for a day. Even if you're giving them every day 3 greens, 3 yam leaves, those are not enough. You're feeding 200 chicken, but you're giving them few greens. Some of them will eat, some of them will not benefit. If you want them to benefit and boost their immunity, you want them to lay healthier eggs. And I'm telling you that if you give these chicken greens, they're going to lay healthier eggs. You see the skin of the eggshell will be very good looking, and just know that if they lay healthier eggs, their body is always healthy. Their droppings or their pop will turn green in color. You find that the eggs have turned bigger in size, and always every day they will be laying bigger eggs because of the greens that you're feeding them. So make sure that you feed them a variety and a lot of greens. Let them feel as if they are on pasture. They are eating from the pasture. All they are feeding as free-range chicken. So make sure that you bring a variety. You're consistent at least every day or every 2 days. After 2 days, you bring a variety of greens and feed them. All you mix the herbs in their drinking water. Neem leaves, sunflower leaves, pumpkin leaves, any bitter leaves that you know can be edible by a human being, all can be used by a human being to drink. It can help this chicken to boost their immunity. Drinking these herbs is far different from eating them, so they need both of them. You can give them the drinking water that have herbs or contain herbs, and you can also give them the fresh greens. That is why for me, when I'm to use the herbs in their drinking water, I always leave these crushed greens in their drinking water. After drinking the water, they will eat all the leftover leaves that I left in their drinking water. They will eat it, because drinking is far different from eating. I'm assuring you, if you start to introduce greens to your chicken, they will start to lay eggs and non-stop, unless when you bought bad breed of the chicken. But those that are laying will not stop laying. They will be laying healthier eggs, and they will be laying the eggs that are having a yellow, almost orange egg yolk, because they are eating on greens every day. And that is the most yummy, all delicious egg that I've ever ate. If you eat an egg yolk that is orange in color, it is very, very good. it has a good flavor. The last thing that I've learned from the chicken, coldness affects the chicken. I accept, but when the chicken are healthy and you get into a season of coldness, they will be affected 10% than the chicken that are found unhealthy. So make sure that you keep your chicken healthy so that they can lay eggs even in the cold. You can lose like 5 eggs to 10 instead of losing a lot of eggs during cold weather. Lastly, once you introduce greens to your chicken, they will help to reduce stress in the chicken because they will keep this chicken busy eating, especially during the time when the feeds are over in their feeders. To the people who always feed them in the morning, and by 5 p.m. the feeds are already consumed by the chicken. It will help you a lot. Just know if the chicken are stressed, their production will not always be good. That's why I told you that you give them a variety of greens, in that they can feed on those greens for at least 2 to 3 hours or 2 hours only in a day after consuming their feeds. Make sure that you give them the feeds in the morning. By the evening, you give them the greens. I wish you all the best in your starting